South Africa, and good to welcome you to our office here in Pretoria. I'm very happy to be spending this Thursday evening with you. So today, as you might have seen on our link, we are going to be having some interesting topics. Of course, you know that our training is cyclic, which means we go round and round so that our new people catch up with us wherever we are, and the cycle goes round and we keep on learning, even though for some of us older ones it might be a bit repetitive, but we know that repetition is the mother of learning, which means that the more we hear, the more we learn, and of course it's also nice to interact every week because we really appreciate hearing from you, the questions, some of your observations, and so on. So very happy to be with you this evening. So I'm going to start with my session and then I'll hand over to Pascal. And I was thinking that in accordance with the month of August, which here in South Africa we spend the whole month celebrating women, I thought that it is a good time for us to speak about self-care, which is something we mentioned a little bit in the women's meeting, but I thought we could go on with the theme of self-care, not only for us as women, but us as distributors. The reason why I thought this was an important thing to look at is that we as distributors represent neolife. And the first thing that a person experiences of neolife when we present the business to them is ourselves. So we are the first phase of neolife that our prospects come across. And that means that we have to always have that at the back of our mind. Also, many of us start the business when you're already employed in something else. So it could be that we have a job and then we start the business part-time, or we have got something else that we do, and then the business is a second thing, which means that starting the business means that we add more work onto our plate. But remember that when there is a lot of work, sometimes we might get a bit sloppy because we are stretched and it's difficult for us to manage everything. I think that taking care of ourselves becomes then a very important part of doing our business, because we see ourselves as the window of our shop, our neolife shop. So there will be a number of topics, but the one I thought I'd start with today is the skin. And of course, there's a lot to say about this, so I'll try to condense it and just speak in a general way about the skin and also about the way neolife helps us in taking care of our skin. Why did I think of starting with the skin? Because first of all, the skin is the largest organ on our body. Imagine it stretches throughout, it coats our entire body, which means that it is very big, and at the same time, it has quite a number of functions. And of course, because all had our skin, sometimes we take it for granted, we don't think about it until it has a problem. So we can look at some of the functions of our skin. The first is that it is our first line of defense against anything that is harmful in our environment. So the skin is the first thing that comes into contact with any harm that is in our environment. The second function is that it gets rid of some of our toxic waste from within our own bodies, but it also keeps out toxic things from our environment. And the third function that I wanted to share is that it is an important part of our appearance. And that means that when we are presenting ourselves, our skin also plays a part in our self-presentation. So moving on, the condition of the skin depends on four things. The first thing is the health and hydration of our body. So our skins actually reflect the health of our body itself, and also the hydration, because the skin, since it is exposed to the environment, if it's not well hydrated, it's going to suffer because it's losing moisture to the environment, and it depends on the hydration within our own body to keep it from drying out. And then the second thing that determines the condition of our skin is the effectiveness with which we cleanse it. So this is, excuse me, this is because the skin deals with toxins from outside, that is what is in our environment, but also toxins within our own body, which means we need to clean it on the outside, but also on the inside. So for example, the water and fluids that we drink play an important role of cleaning on the inside. And the cleaning we do on the outside plays an important role of cleaning on the outside. So whenever we think about why it is important for us to drink plenty of water during our day, we must remember that that water plays an important role in cleansing our entire system, including our skin. So the effectiveness of cleansing is the second thing that is important for the condition of our skin. Then the third thing is how well we protect our skin from damage. As we have said, our environment may contain things that can damage our skin. For example, the environment might be quite harsh. For instance, here in Africa, certain times of the year we'll have high heat, that it's very hot and so drying. At other time, it's very windy, like in South Africa now. We are going to go in the month of August and September. It's very windy and very dusty. Sometimes you work in an office where there is air conditioning, which makes the air very dry, and so on. So we need to be mindful of protecting the skin from any damage that comes from environmental factors. Another thing to add is that the toxins are not only from our environment. The toxins come from foods that we eat or products that we apply on our skins. And this is, of course, after this, I'll mention some of the Neolife products, but it's good to mind that not everything that is sold for us to use is good for us. For example, we have spoken many times in our training about the importance of trying to keep our diet well based on natural foods, not foods which have been processed and changed too much. Also, when it comes to the products that we use for cleaning our skins and looking after our skin, we need to be careful and understand that there are some which are actually quite toxic. I might mention, for example, here in Africa, we tend to have products that are called toners or skin, that they make the tone of the skin even. But a lot of them say that what they do is that they lighten the skin. And quite a number of them use some toxic material to lighten the skin. So whereas the skin might be, we may think that it's just changing the skin, unfortunately it will be having other deeper effects on our skin. So those are some of the toxins from which we need to protect our skin from damage. And the last item I have which helps the condition of the skin is a provision for self-healing. So our skin, of course, is able to heal itself when the damage is not too extensive, but it requires that we provide it with what it needs to heal itself. And that is where some of our nutritional supplements will come in, but at the same time, also the way in which we take care of it and protect it will also come in providing condition for our heal itself when it has undergone some damage. Of course, if the damage is very extensive, we may need the help of our medical practitioners, but if it is day-to-day damage, I think our skins, with a bit of help from us and our nutritional supplement, will be able to take care of healing itself. So if I turn my attention now to what our Neolife can do to help us, the first thing I want to mention is I'm sure you have noticed that our skins are not the same throughout our body. So in our body, there will be different types of skin. On my head has hair growing on it. As you can see, my little afro is covering the skin on my hair, which I mean on the scalp has got hair growing out of it. When you go to the face, the skin on the face is thinner and more delicate than the skin on my back. And then the skin on the soles of my feet and the palms of my hands are also different from the other parts of my body. So just to say that our skin is not the same throughout. which means that we cannot use the same thing to take care of every part of our skin. And that is why in Neolife, we have got two ranges for taking care of our skins. The first one is the personal care range, which I'm going to talk about just now. And then the other one is the nutrients range, which is more specific to the delicate skin on our faces, our neck, and chest. So the nutrients range is specifically for those. So to start with, I just wanted to mention in a general way some of the ingredients that you will find in most of our personal care products. So I'm talking about the personal care range. And in general, we have got quite a number of ingredients, but there are some which are recurrent that you'll keep on seeing. If you look at the list of ingredients on the personal care products, you will see that they recur. The first one is aloe vera. And of course, here in Africa, we are quite familiar with aloe vera because it has been used from the times of our ancestors as a skin healing gel, as well as an emollient. Why is that? This is because the leaf of the aloe vera plant has got a gel, which when well extracted, it has got many natural and rich ingredients such as enzymes, vitamins, and antioxidants, which help to soothe the skin and also assist in healing it and keep it in good condition. And that is why you find that the aloe vera is a common ingredient in our skincare range because it is natural and it is well established as very useful in keeping the skin in good condition and in healing it. The second product, of course, I should have mentioned this one first, is water. I think all of our skincare range, you'll find that the first ingredient or the second one is going to be water, because water is the most important ingredient of all. All life processes take place with the aid of water. And in this case, of course, the quality of the water matters, and Neolife makes sure that even the water which is used for manufacturing our personal care and skincare range are actually of the best quality. So maybe some of us have not thought that we have to take care of the kind of water that goes into the making of our skincare products, but it is actually quite important. Then another product that you'll find recurring in the Neolife skincare range is the Pro Vitamin B5. This is a member of the vitamin B family. And also glycerin. You'll also find glycerin appearing regularly. This is because these two and others, they are not the only ones, have got a property called hygroscopy. What that means is that they draw water from the environment and hold it onto the skin, which means that they help to keep the skin hydrated and prevent it from getting dry. So you will find that provitamin B5 and glycerin are often included in our personal care range. Then the last ingredient I wanted to mention are the oils. There are a number of oils that are included in our personal care range. We have refined mineral oil, which is light, and also we have coconut oil, which we are quite familiar with, especially those of us who come from, lands which are not landlocked. I think Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, Tanzania, we are quite familiar with the coconut palm, whose oil is quite famous as an ingredient in skincare. So what the oils do is that they act as a barrier. Once the provitamin B5 and glycerin have hydrated the skin, then the oils act as a barrier to prevent that hydration from being lost. So of course, there are a number of other ingredients you will find on any bottle of our personal care range, but I wanted to mention some of them and just to tell you why it is that you'll keep on seeing them appearing in the list of ingredients. So now I want to mention some of what we have in the personal care range. We have products for cleaning the skin. We have products for returning the skin to good condition. And I just want to mention that we have got 3 items that can be used for skin cleansing. If you simply want to clean your skin, then you can start with LDC. And this might sound strange because LDC is, of course, what we use in the kitchen and we use for washing a whole lot of things in our house. But I still remember that when we started the business, one of the products in our kit was the LDC, and we used it for cleaning everything, including brushing our teeth. It made us able to not have to buy quite a number of products that we could have been buying for cleaning around the house. So LDC is not harsh. It's quite good for cleaning. And if you are on a tight budget, because if you are like us, we started the business when we were quite broke, and the reason, in fact, we started the business at all was in order to improve our financial situation. So it is okay to use LDC, and for quite a long time, quite a number of months of our first year in the business, LDC was our main cleaning agent in the house. We use it for showering. We used it to wash our hair, to wash our dishes, to clean our bathroom, everything. And it is, as we know, non-toxic, and maybe sometime in the future we'll talk about our home care range. Now, apart from LDC, of course, we've got 2 items in our personal care range for cleaning the skin. The first one is PCC, which stands for Personal Care Concentrate. And this one is a cleanser that we can use for showering and bathing. So if you want a good soap for your shower and your bath, PCC is a good one, which will do the job quite well. But if you want your shower or your bath to be an experience, a special experience, then we've got our Rolls Royce of the personal care, which is the bath and shower gel, which is very, very nice for using. Maybe some of you have used it. And this one is shall we say, the higher one of the cleansers. So those are the 3 things that we can use for cleaning our skin. All of them work very well. The LDC is the very simple one, the PCC, the medium range one, and then a shower gel, which is a bit more costly, but which is also very special. Then the other cleansers that we have are the shampoos. We have got 2 kinds of shampoo. One is the mild one, and the other one is the rich, revitalizing shampoo. If you tend to have skin that hair that, because the shampoos, of course, are specifically for cleaning the scalp. If you tend to have a very dry scalp, then you will choose the mild shampoo because it's more mild in its cleansing. If your hair tends to be oily, for example, our sisters who are of Indian or Arabic origin may have scalps and hair that tends to be a bit oilier, you will choose the rich, revitalizing shampoo. So those are the shampoos. They are all very good and do a good job of cleaning your hair and leaving it well prepared for the next step, which is the conditioner. We have got 1 hair conditioner, which we use after shampooing. And this soothes the hair and returns it to its original state. Again, in the Neolife range, we don't have hair straightening things. The hair products are not for straightening. They are simply for making sure that your scalp is well cleansed and that your hair is in good condition. And then you can style it according to your normal preference. Then other personal products that we have is the Body Love, which is a mineral oil that we find is very useful as a barrier. So for example, if you come from a part of our continent where it's very dry, Like for example, in Pretoria where we live, the air tends to be quite dry, especially in winter. Then after showering, you can apply a light coat of body love before drying yourself, because then it acts as a barrier to prevent the moisture from leaving the skin. It can also be used as a bath oil to put in a bath if you're a person who takes a bath in the bathtub. And it also can just be applied if you'd like something rich and of oily origin on your skin. If you prefer something lighter, then we have got the hand and body lotion, which you also can apply. This one, again, it's got all the ingredients that I've talked about that help in hydrating the skin and also preventing the skin from drying out. And then last is my favorite of the personal care range, the aloe vera gel, another product which was among the first products that I experienced when we started the business. And this one, you can use it on your face, you can use it on minor injuries around the house. You recall that we have got 4 sons, and at the time when we started the business, they were all very young. They were constantly scraping their skins and getting poked by things as they played around the house. And so aloe vera was a very important, was and still is a very important part of it, because as they grew up, they went through the stage where they had acne on their faces, and aloe vera gel, it has been quite useful for that, because it is light and it does not make their face excessively shiny. They get a bit irritated by that when they grow a bit older. So aloe vera gel is very useful in very many ways. You will find it of use in your house in a lot of different ways. I personally like it very much, and it's one of the skincare products that I use every day. Then in conclusion, because I can see my time is running out, I also wanted to mention nutrients. So nutrients is the range we have, is the cosmetic range, which is formulated specifically for the delicate skin on our face and on our neck and upper chest, that is the top of the chest, where the skin is quite delicate. So this one, I will not go into the detail for it, but there is a lot of information from the company website, and I believe we also made a video about it. So if you would like more information on the nutrients, you can get it from the nutrients videos, either the one that we made or the one that I think has been made by the company. There are a number of them. So just to finish off by saying, the important thing about nutrients, if you are marketing it to your customers, is that they need to know their skin type so that you can recommend for them the right range. And I've had a number of people asking, how do you know the skin type? For most women, you will already know your skin from having maybe gone to a beauty shop where they do the skin tests. And a simple way that you can know the skin type is by washing the face, not applying anything, and then if after about half an hour you wipe your face with a serviette and the serviette comes up with oil, then it is likely that your skin is oily. If after it's not oily, then it's likely that your skin is either normal or dry. So then for those 2 skin types, for normal to dry skin or combination to oily. The combination skin is the one where the oily part is on the forehead, the nose, and the cheeks and the chin, whereas the rest of the face is dry. So once you or your customer has established their skin type, then you can recommend for them the correct line of the nutrients range to use. Of course, each person's skin is different, and we know that nutrients is very, very well tested and made to a very high standards. It's made to the European standards in France. But it is good to follow up with your customer to see that they are doing okay with their skincare, any of their skincare range, and that they are satisfied. Now, I think that that is all I will say for today. So as I've mentioned at the beginning, we'll continue with this speaking about self-care, and today we have seen about learning a bit about our skins, the importance of drinking water in order to keep our skin in good condition, the importance of providing it with good nutrition, as well as the importance of providing with what it needs to heal itself when it is injured. And just to finish off by first of all thanking you for allowing me to speak to you this evening, but at the same time to tell you that in our Neolife business, we need to remember always that being professional is very important, and that the way our opportunity for creating a good impression comes only once, and therefore we should do our best to create a good impression. One of the ways of doing that is taking care of how we present ourselves. It does not mean that we have to go and use products that we cannot afford. But as I've said, when we started the business, we used the products which we could afford to use. At that time, it was LDC and aloe vera gel. And as we went on, we are able to products and use them. And I think it has proved to be a very good part of our self-care. And I found that the Neolife range of personal care really delivers what it says. And so we can go out and market it to those whom we come across who would like to use a good range of products for their personal care. Not to mention that all our products are safe for the environment, which means that by using them, we are doing our bit to protect our environment for a future generation. Thank you very much. I think I'll hand you over to Pascal now. And if you have any questions, of course, we'll take a look at the chat. If you are, it's possible and there's time at the end, I shall answer some at the end. If not, we can keep them for next week. I know I had 2 questions from last time. Shall I answer? So the questions I had from last time, one was for a hernia. So here, unfortunately, I think the hernia, if it's a small one, maybe we can recommend supplements. But I assume that it is not a small one because the person is asking about it. And the best thing for that is to have surgery so that the surgeon can close the opening in the opening of the hernia. And then we on our Neolife side can recommend for them products that will help in healing the place which had the hernia and has been closed. So we would recommend zinc, vitamin C, and NutriShake. So that is for the hernia, but please, whoever asked the question, advise your person that it would be good for them to have a surgeon close up the hernia. Otherwise, it's most of the time, just by taking supplements, the hernia will not close up. Unless it's a small one, like the small ones that little babies have on the umbilical cord. But like the bigger ones that appear in the abdomen or around the testicles, I think a better plan would be maybe to have a surgeon look at it and advise accordingly. Then the other condition that I had a question about was cerebral palsy, which what I could find is that physiotherapy is very beneficial for a person with cerebral palsy. And from our side, we recommend products which help the person in some of the challenges that comes along with cerebral palsy, because of course it's not curable. There's no known cure for it. And from Neolife, we recommend omega-3 salmon oil, multi-mineral, and acidophilus. Also, for those markets where there's no acidophilus, then I think we can use vitamin B complex. But those three will help very much in keeping them free from infections, like, for example, infections in the lung and so on. All right, so I think Pascal will take over for now, and then I will maybe come back if there is time afterwards.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. I would like to welcome you to this second part of our training session. I think that was a very good training session on the product. I saw some of the comments that people sent that they really appreciate the training of product. and because one of the key things about retailing product is we need to have good product knowledge. The part I would like to share with you about this session, let me just get to my share the screen. Just give me one moment, please. Okay, what we would like to talk about today is handling objections and challenges and daily habits for success. I see some people are very, very fond of our screen. Every time I share the screen, somebody scribbles something on the screen. Just give me a moment. Okay. So what I would like to discuss with you is about what really our business is and the challenges you expect. What is the fundamental thing about our business? What is this business we do? What is Neolife business or network marketing? In a very short sentence, our business is building a network of product users. That's all we do. It's a very simple, very straightforward, but it's not easy. Okay? How do we build a network of users? First, by using the products ourselves. We suggest that when you start the business, you need to use the products yourself to create a good example to your customers and to other distributors you want to involve in the business. The second thing we do is we retail products to relatives and friends. And the third thing we do is we get others to do the same. That is what we do in our business. So to succeed in our business, you need to get a large number of people who are using products and retailing. You know, when I was preparing for this session, I was reading about ShopRite. ShopRite is the largest retail company on the African continent. They have 2,934 stores in 15 countries, and they employ a massive 147,000 people. What is ShopRite doing? ShopRite is using these stores to build a network of people who go and buy products. And that's what we do in our business. We're building a network of people who use our products, but instead of having stores, we have private homes. And that is what makes this business very, very unique, is that in ShopRite, it's only the owner who is at the top of the pyramid and earns all the big bucks. In our business, the people who work the hardest are the ones who earn money. But in order to build this network of product users all over the continent, there are some personal attributes that I'm going to suggest that you need to develop. The first is teachability. Being teachable means the willingness to learn from your sponsor or your mentor. I would recommend, if you're new in this business, please put aside everything you think you know about this business. Secondly, the lessons you've learned from traditional business rarely work in our industry. Why? Because our industry is unique, and two, the core of our business is relationships. All right? So when you start this business, you need to have an open mind to learn new things, because that is what is going to make you succeed. The second attribute you need to have is a consuming desire to succeed. I've been trying to find a metaphor or a way to express what that feeling is. And the best one I can find is this. I think yesterday in the afternoon, I was speaking to Millicent Maguke in Kisumu. She had just spoken to some very exciting distributors. And I had a chat with some of his guests, some of his prospects. And later on, I thought, one of the ways you're going to succeed in this business is to speak to people with such passion, the way I had her speaking to her guests, that think about a man, you go to a swimming pool, and suddenly somebody puts your head in the water for 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. The way you're gasping for oxygen at that time is the intensity of desire you need to develop in our business to succeed. That is what will drive you to succeed in the business. That is what will drive you to face all the challenges that you're going to face in this business. So you need to have a very consuming desire to succeed. And the third thing is the willingness to work consistently. This is not a sometime business. Let me explain what sometime and part-time is. Part-time means that if you still have a job or you have something else you're doing, that you're putting aside every day 1 hour to do the business. That is what part-time is. Sometime business is you put 2 or 3 hours a day, then you stop doing the business. After 2 weeks, you come back to do the business. It doesn't work like that. If you want to succeed, you need to be either part-time or full-time. It means every day, if you're part-time, you're putting 1 hour into the business. And what do you do during that 1 hour? You talk to people. That's all you do. Some will say yes, some will say no. These three attributes should lead to belief. And when your belief level is high, your confidence level also goes up. And finally, you become a person of influence. That's when you're going to influence other people to use our products and retail products to their friends and relatives. That is what these attributes are designed to help you become. To become a person of influence who believes in the business, has confidence in yourself, and finally you have influence in your society. Let me go to some of the challenges that you face in this business. Just one moment, please. Okay. What are some of the challenges you're going to face in our business? And this is important so that it's important to prepare yourself so that when you start the business, when these things come, it doesn't derail you. One of the things I've been doing the last 2 or 3 months, I've been reading the biography of a man called David Goggins. He's a Navy SEAL in the US Army. He retired, but he is the toughest man in the world. He holds the world record of the highest number of pull-ups for 24 hours. He did 4,030 pull-ups. And I was reading his biography, and he was explaining how the first training you go through to join the Navy SEAL is something called the Hell Week. You spend a week in hell. You go through so much suffering and pain. Why do they do that? To prepare them for the real battle. So those of you who are new in the business, or you've been old in the business, it's important for you to prepare for this thing that you're going to go through so that you are ready when the challenges come. The first challenge you're going to encounter in the business is the tendency to compare with other companies. There is no other company like Neolife. Okay? So if you really want to succeed in the business, you know the products are the best. Our marketing plan is the best. The compensation structure is the best. The only missing ingredient is yourself. So avoid the temptation to compare this company with others. Otherwise, you will not be successful. And two, when you speak to prospects and they see you're not really sure about this thing, they begin to doubt you. Remember, prospects will follow somebody who is sure of where they're going. The second thing is, it's called multiple income stream. That is, you join this business, but you want to do other network marketing businesses. It doesn't, and by the way, the Neolife policy does not permit a household to be involved in another network marketing business. What is a household? A household is a husband and wife. The distributorship is between a husband, is for both husband and wife of the same household. Okay? So avoid the temptation for multiple streams of income. That you want to do this network marketing business, you want to go to another one, you'll just not succeed. I have read the last 24 years of people who have tried. I have seen people who have tried to do this. It just doesn't work. Why? Because a double-minded person is unstable in all his ways. So avoid that temptation. And Neolife takes very seriously if they find that some of our distributors are involved in other network marketing businesses. Why? Because it's unethical. You need to decide where your loyalty is. Number three, the other challenge you're going to face is called multitasking. I know these days there's a vogue that, oh, I like multitasking, I can do too many things at the same time. When I was a child, I remember we used to play with magnifying glasses. And if you take a magnifying glass, if you keep moving it around, nothing will happen. But if the magnifying glass is steady and you point it to the sun, suddenly the paper under it catches fire. That is what our business is. You need to have focus, okay? A laser beam is light energy. Light energy of a lamp can shine light, or if it's concentrated, it can burn through steel. And that's what our business is. You need to be very focused and consistent in doing this business. Don't multitask and try to do many things. I know that there's some things you have to do because you have a family, because probably you still have a job, or you need to do exercises, you need to do things with the community. That's fine. But what I am saying, that 2 hours a day, or that 1 hour a day that you have put aside for the business, do the business. The fourth challenge we come across in our business is called the banker syndrome. That is, sometimes distributors come to you, they say, please lend me money, I want to do your business. It's okay, you can give them money to do the business, but I remember very clearly Charlie used to tell us that don't take away your downline's challenges. Why? Because you're robbing the chance to develop their capacity to solve their own problems. Okay, so I would recommend that you need to be very prudent and careful about giving money to distributors in your team. Why? Because if distributors don't learn how to make money, rob them the chance of doing so themselves. Number 5 is called the product expert syndrome. I noticed that when Betty was giving her product session, it was very simple, very precise, and any person who doesn't have, you don't need to have no chemistry to actually understand our products, okay? For example, if you're talking about, I remember Don Lawson used to give some really fantastic sessions. And when he would speak, sometimes he'd use a lot of technical terms. For example, you talk about arachidonic, and when you're speaking about vitamin E complex, it's not necessary to know all those details. You need to know just enough details to explain to a customer who you assume has never been to school to study chemistry or biology or food nutrition. Just give them the basic knowledge for them to make a decision. All right? So do not be a product expert. Have the basic information about, for example, if I get a customer who has got high blood pressure, I will tell him, look, the 3 products I would recommend is garlic, omega-3 salmon plus, and lipotropic. That's all I need to know. If they ask more details about the product, then I would say omega-3 comes from fish oil and is very pure salmon oil, because the company gets the salmon fish from the cleanest water source in North America. That is enough information for our customers. Number 6, the friends and family. Some of you, I am sure when you speak to your friends and family and they make fun of you, don't worry, that's part of the business. I call it a prophet in his home syndrome. The people who are very closest to you are the ones who are likely not to believe in your dreams. So don't worry when they make fun of you, or they don't join the business, or they say, Pascal, this thing will never work. That's part of the business. So don't worry about family and friends who make fun of your business. Number 7, work with the willing. Don't go after the people in our business who have what we call a wheelbarrow syndrome. You know, a wheelbarrow only moves when you push it. If you don't push it, it doesn't go. So work with the people who are willing to work. Why? It will increase your business. It will make your business run faster, because people who are willing to work are self-driven. All right? Number 8, too much information to your prospect. When you start the business, Don't give your prospect too much information. I've made this mistake so many times. Sometimes I meet a prospect because I'm excited about the business. I talk too much, and I realize that somewhere I've lost the prospect. The attention has gone elsewhere. Why is that? Why does that happen? Because you're overwhelming the prospect with information, whereas you should give them the basic facts that attracts their attention. And I came across a concept by Lisa Nichol called SNAP. Okay, it's a very simple process to go through the core of the presentation without fluffing or without giving too much information. SNAP means simple networking at accelerated pace. That means that when you approach a prospect, ask a question that directs the prospect to the final goal. For example, the other day I met a prospect who I had spoken to a long time ago, but we lost contact. Then I called him yesterday in the afternoon and told him, look, Franz, I came to your office some time ago and we talked about a business. Would you like to know how to earn an extra 20,000 Rand? That took less than 30 seconds. Why is that important? Because I'm directing him to the result, not the process of achieving the result. Because if you explain the process, their mind gets lost in trying to figure out how to achieve that. But if you tell them what the final result is, their interest is piqued and they want to know more. So I told him, okay, I'll send you a link to a meeting so that you see more information about the meeting. So make sure that when you're speaking to your prospect, give as little information as possible, pique their interest and invite them for the presentation. Don't give too much information. In fact, the best prospecting techniques is when you listen more and speak less. Number 9 is shortcuts. There are no shortcuts in this business. This business, simply talk to people. Talk to 1, talk to 2, talk to 10. The more people you talk to, the faster your business will grow. Just one moment. And then the other thing that is likely to happen is objections will have. When you've seen you share the business with a prospect, but they don't want to make a decision, or they give you all sorts of reasons why they cannot have. And I'll go some of them which I've had the last 24 years. The first one at the top of the list is you show a prospect the business and they say, I don't have money to start. That is very common. It could be true they don't have money to start, but there's always a way to get people. I remember I was speaking to a prospect in Kenya some time ago, and they told me, oh, I really want to start this business. So I asked the question, do you have a child? They said, yes, I have a child. If your child was very ill, would you look for the money? Then she says, yes, of course I will. Say, and what is the difference? The difference is the level of desperation or intensity is different. So if you see the business and you really want to do it, you will look for money. Then I gave them a suggestion. Before you sleep, write down names of 10 people who trust you. Go and borrow 1,000 shillings from each, then start the business. So there's always a way to start the business when people say they don't have money. The other way is to ask them, if you don't have the money, I can help you raise the money. How? Look for customers. When the customers buy products, we'll put the profit aside to get you started. So there's always a way. When people say they don't have money, they can always make a plan. The second is they don't have time to do the business. Well, the prospect, yourself, you, me, have only 24 hours. Why is it that others are doing the business and others are not? Because they don't see the value. They don't see the benefit of putting aside 1 or 2 hours a day to do the business. So when people say they're too busy, I think it's because they really haven't prioritized the business so that it fits into their calendar, because all of us only have 24 hours. The third one is products are too expensive. A friend of mine sent me a video, I think I've watched it before, where the speaker was saying you need to make a very clear distinction between value and cost. Okay? And he gave the example, if you go to a Lamborghini shop and they tell you the price, they tell you it's $250,000. And you say, but your Lamborghini is too expensive, the Toyota is cheaper. The owner of Lamborghini will tell you, okay, go to Toyota. Okay, in a business, we don't speak like that because we want our customers to buy our products. And the reason is our products are high quality. That's why some people say they're expensive, because they are good products. I've never seen anybody who goes to a Mercedes and says, oh, Mercedes, you people, your cars are very expensive. Why? They're good cars. Okay. The fourth thing is it's a pyramid scheme. This thing, people will always talk about a pyramid scheme. The difference is very simple. If you're a distributor and somebody comes up to you and tells you the pyramid scheme, tell them, actually, I will tell you a very good example of a pyramid scheme, the government. Because the government has one president at the top, the deputy president, then ministers, then the directors. That is a pyramid structure. There can only be one president in a country. In our business, the people whom you start and recruit into the business and actually earn more money than you within a very short space of time. I remember when we started, one of our first distributors took every step with us until one would be director. Okay? So, when people tell you it's a pyramid scheme, they don't understand what our business is. And there are two things you can observe. One, a pyramid scheme, there is no product or service. Number two, it is illegal. Number three, within 6 to 18 months, it collapses. Our business, there's a product or service that is offered to the public. Okay? Number two is the people who start sometimes, the person you bring into the business can actually earn more money than you do. All right. Number three, it's regulated. Number four, it's a legal business. Every country where a New Life does business.
Yes, in 1950.
Betty is reminding me that we've been in the business since 1958. So this is not a fly by night. I mean, 1958, I wasn't even born in 1958. And I'm sure most of the people who are watching this were not even born when Jerry Brasfield was starting this company. So I have no problem with that. Number five, I want to think about it. Really, when people say they want to think about it, I think they're afraid of making the decision to start. Because what is there to think about? That's why when I've shown the business to people, I rarely ask them what they think about. I ask them 4 questions. 1, did the business make sense? 2, what did you like most about the business? Number 3, do you see yourself succeeding in our business? Number 4, how are you going to pay for your kids? Those are the questions I ask. I rarely ask what they think about. Number 6, people's the selling type. Well, everybody who is watching this presentation is selling something at one point or the other. Before you get married, you sell yourself to your spouse. If you're arguing with people about a certain thing, you're selling your idea or you're selling a point of view. Every one of us is selling something or another. And I think if you bring sales skills in this business, it will not work very well for you because our business is premised on duplication. Number 7, handling objections. Remember that objections are really is lack of information. 2nd, hear them out without interrupting. 3rd, repeat to them to ensure you understand. If you don't have an answer, say so. Use the feel, felt, found rule. John, I used to feel that way, but when I understood, I felt different because of what I had found out. So use the feel, felt, found rule. Why do you use that formula? Because you are stepping into the shoes of your prospect. And then use the 4 closing questions that I've just discussed about. And then let's get to the daily habits of becoming successful. They're very simple. The first, I would say, is self-talk and visualization. You need to be able to see the future in your mind. You need to be able to see the income you want to generate. Self-talk and visualization when I started the business and we were being told about self-talk, I found it very strange. The first time I tried it, I found it very awkward. But with time, I got used to it, and I found that it's actually very, very, very useful. And the reason for that is something called neuroplasticity. It means you can change something in your brain physically by the words you use. Okay, so self-talk and visualization is very important. 2, invite prospects to see the business daily. If you have a retail shop and nobody's coming into your shop, nobody's buying your products. So show the business to prospects every single day. Part-time, 2 every day. Full-time, 5 to 6 every day. Number 4, follow up with the ones who have seen the business. I would suggest you need to have a tracking system to track the people who have seen the business and the ones who said no, the ones who said yes, the ones who have queries. Remember that prospecting is a process, or sponsoring is a process. And there are always prospects in different stages of that pipeline. So you need to pay attention, have a way of monitoring how this is going on. Then talk to 2 customers daily. Read good books for at least 15 minutes every day. If you read 15 minutes every day, in a year's time, you'll have finished. And that makes a big difference. But I'd like to suggest to you the following. Don't read too many. When I started the business, I was so excited about books. I bought so many books. But lately I realized that there are a few books that you need to read over and over and over again until you master the principles. Those are the books that will make a significant difference in your life. If you go to the Neo Life Getting Started document, there's a list of 5 books they've suggested. Think and Grow Rich, How to Win Friends and Influence People, GoPro, okay, I forget the 2 others. But very, very good books. I would recommend for you to buy and read over and over again. And the last one is add new names to your list every day. Why? Because every single day you meet somebody you didn't know yesterday. And if you do that, if you keep adding, you will find that your name list you'll never exhaust your name list. And that is how your business is built. So Paul, I want to hand over back to you. Betty has got some issues she wants to, sorry.
The 2 questions.
The 2 questions that were raised by some of the participants.
Okay, I just start with the 2 questions that I was able to get. One was about body odor. And I think we already mentioned the importance of cleaning the skin from inside and out. So one thing we can recommend is that they drink plenty of water. Sometimes, especially for our countrymen, we don't drink water, we drink tea or soda or these things. I'm talking about water itself. So plenty of water, because as we said at the beginning, you need water to clean the inside as well as outside. And then, of course, we spoke about the soaps that are in our range, which we can recommend. Another thing to remember is that sometimes the body odor is not coming from the body, is that the creases in the skin, like around the neck or the armpits or other parts which are the skin is creased, may not get cleaned very well, and bacteria can accumulate there, and that is what actually causes the smell. On the other hand, if that has already been thought about and the odor is still there, we can recommend supplements such as threonine, multimineral, and acidophilus. And then the other question was about recurrent pneumonia. So I think we had a question about pneumonia before, but the person said it was recurring. And I thought, of course, you need to see the doctor. It could be that they need to get antibiotics or other treatment. And also to look at the living conditions, because the conditions in which the person is living might be contributing to the recurrence of the pneumonia. It could be something that they are reacting to, or it could be that they are getting reinfected when they go back home. And from the Neolife side, the supplements that we recommend for them would be vitamin C or flavonoids. You know that our flavonoid complex also contains some vitamin C, And I know currently because of the pandemic, there is a great shortage of vitamin C, so it's unfortunate, but I think the company is working very hard to bring it back into supply. And meanwhile, if your area has vitamin C, you can recommend it, or flavonoid complex if you don't have vitamin C at the moment. Then the second product would be herbal respiratory complex. And the third one would be coenzyme Q10. And for those who don't have coenzyme Q10, for example, in South Africa, we don't have it, we can recommend omega-3 salmon oil for the person with pneumonia. But as I've said, they need to see a doctor and they need to check if their living conditions is actually contributing for the reinfection. Okay, that is, I think that is what I have for now. The others that may have come in the course of our chat, we shall bring them to next week, when we'll continue with the topics of self-care. So today it was about the skin. But just as I'm going, I would like to urge you to take this training that we are making to heart and work on your business. You know, we often talk about greener pastures. And what I had one old gentleman here in Pretoria once told me that when you look at greener pastures, you have to understand that the greener the pasture is, the more care it requires. So if I'm looking at my neighbor's pastures and thinking that is very green, I wish I lived there, I need to understand that my neighbor is putting in a lot of work for that pasture to be as green as it is. So instead of looking at those other pastures over there, let us stick to our knitting. As they say, the Afrikaners are saying that you stick to your knitting. Do your own work for your own business, and it will be the greener pastures that others see and desire. Rather than focusing our energy here and there and being distracted all the time, thinking that maybe the sun is warmer next door, maybe the money is more in the next company. Let us focus here, because our company is good, our product is good, our training is good, and our support system is good. So let us make our own pasture, the Neolife pasture, the greenest of all. And you can see even our company logo has a lot of green in it. So let us work and put the effort here so that we can reap the benefits here. Thank you very much, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again next week. And I wish you all the best as we go along the month of August. All right then, Pascal.
Okay, thank you very much, Betty. I saw two questions. One is somebody to sort of elaborate on work with the willing. It means that work with people who are willing to work. People who keep asking you questions and are asking for help. If you call somebody 3 or 4 times or 5 times, they don't respond to your call, that's a clear sign that they're not really ready to push the business. The other one question I saw there is the 4 closing questions. First questions, did the business make sense? Secondly, what did you like about the business? That question is very, very precise. I don't ask what they think or what they dislike. I ask, what did you like about the business? Number 3, do you see yourself succeeding in the business? And number 4, when can you start the business? Are you paying by cash, electronic transfer, or by M-Pesa or mobile money? Those questions are very important, and they've been very, very carefully thought through. So, Paul, I'd like to hand over to you and close the meeting. All of you, thank you very much, and wish you the best until next week, Thursday. Oh, next week, Monday, when we have a presentation. Paul?
Thank you so much, Pascal and Betty, for such a wonderful session, which I believe everybody who is on this call today, you've been able to benefit a lot from the messages that we have been able to send. I think Pascal and Betty have been able to give us a lot of information that we can be able to use in the field. And as we say, Betty and Pascal, we cannot pay you. We just pray that God will continue to increase you with wisdom, with good health, so that you can continue to impact as many people as possible. So thank you so much for giving us a lot of session and a lot of knowledge in terms of the products and how also to position the opportunity of Neolife. From me, I just want to thank everyone who is on this call for tuning in. Tomorrow, remember at 11 a.m., we have a new distributor orientation session. So all the people that we have been able to sponsor, it doesn't matter when you sponsor them and you feel they can be able to benefit in that session, make sure they log in tomorrow at 11 a.m. so that we can be able to just take them on some of the few things that we feel as a company they need to know, and it will be able to help them to continue to build their business. Then later in the evening at 8 p.m. at night, 8 p.m., remember we are going to have our Swahili presentation session. So also get ready and make sure you invite as many people as possible to come also and get to know the opportunity, because we don't want to leave anybody behind because of language. I mean, in Kenya and in East Africa, we have Swahili, English. So we're just trying to make sure that every team is taken care of. So from me, I just want to thank you so much for logging in tonight. Let's take those things that we have been able to learn. Let's use them. Let's continue to build our business. Let's look our targets for sponsoring this month for PVs, and stop at nothing than the best. Just keep on stretching. I can tell you for sure, this is the best time for you to build your new life business. So from me and Pascal and Betty, we want to wish you a lovely night. See you soon, and God bless you. Good night and bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night, Pascal and Betty. Good night.
Thank you.